Couple questions about how the Polaris broke, so I'm just making a quick video. This is the strut, so it doesn't use like a regular four-wheeler suspension with like, double A arm. It's got one bottom control arm and a strut, which is like, the top control and everything in one. And it worked great up until this happened, even with 33-inch tractor tires and me jumping it and flipping it and everything. But my buddy came up like a hill really quick, and a truck had just dug out a hole in the side of it, and he drove the tire right into that hole. So something was going to give, so really can't blame them too much for that, but at the same time, this exact type of failure is something you'd only see with some aluminum suspension components like this. If it was steel, it probably would have bent and you'd be able to drive it back, but the way this failed, we had to tow it back with the razor and keep that wheel off the ground. So yeah, I got to get one of these. They're like $270 for that piece of aluminum to replace it, and the brake line screwed up, and I got to rebuild the CV joint because the boot tore when that hit it. The razor is also having some pretty serious issues. So you see how these nuts look? That's how it's supposed to look. Nice cotter pin, nice and tight. The brass brake pads I got seem to be lasting pretty well. You can see them down in there. You really can't see it, but pretty good pad life on this side. So thinking I'm going to get a good amount of rides out of those brass brake pads. You can kind of see right there. See, so I don't no appreciable wear on the brake pad. Put a bunch of hours on it. But on this side, there's something completely else going on. The cotter pin has been sheared off. You can see it kind of down in there. It'll get to focus. You probably can't see it. There's a cotter pin sheared off in there, and the nut's loosened up. See how it's loose? Because of that, the wheel's wobbling around. This tire is also completely flat because my other buddy drove this into a hole kind of sideways and at like 30 miles an hour and kind of screwed it up. But I don't think that's related to this issue, but it could be. So yeah, this happened there, and then back here, this one is really loose. And because it was loosening up, it sheared off the cotter pin. I torqued these down to exactly what Super ATV says to torque them down. They sent me some new nuts. It used to be a nut and a washer. Now it's just a big flange nut. But because this has been backing off, it ripped the caliper off the portal box, cracked the mount, which is the third time I've broken an aluminum caliper bracket adapter thing. And it's twisted this up here, and it's like mangled my nice brass brake pads that I just put on here. So I need a caliper bracket, more brake pads. This rotor's kind of screwed up. And I guess what's happened is my spindles, what's the best, I guess a spindle, I'm not sure the best word for this is because it's a portal, but basically the shaft, the output shaft of the portal box, the splines are loose so that it's rocking a lot, and this should really be reverse threaded, right? Because the way it's rocking, it's spinning this nut with enough force to shear off a cotter pin. You can see the cotter pin down in there? It's completely shearing off a freaking cotter pin. That's pretty wild. I've never had that happen on anything else. I think they could find a better way to design this. I think reverse threading it would definitely be the key. So I guess I'm going to have to get new output shafts for both these portal boxes, new hubs, which are $50 a piece, and some hardened freaking cotter pins. But so yeah, definitely got some work to do on these little guys. But the new lug nuts are holding up great. But I can get over this and get it running. I have a set of other, I have already replaced these once, so I have another set of hubs. I'll just probably use my new rotors and put my old hubs on it. This is going to be kind of interesting because they're riveted, but I probably can figure out a way to make it work. And I can make a steel caliper bracket for the back. I've done that once, so I'll be able to get everything going pretty soon. I just got to get the thing for that. But yeah, pretty hard day on the Polarises, but I really can't blame them too much. They didn't break with my driving, which is pretty brutal, but fairly expert. They broke with my friends who aren't used to how much power the Polaris has. So, but yeah, there's your answer to your question. Oh yeah, people always ask about the Rubicon. I did get rid of that Rubicon. I'm planning on getting a new one soon, once either this Ace sells or something else, because I don't have enough room to store it and bring that many bikes around. But I had to get rid of the Can-Am or the Rubicon, and of course the Can-Am wouldn't sell because it's such a piece of shit. Everyone knows not to buy a used Can-Am. So I finally ended up trading the Can-Am for this little Ace 325. People ask a question about that all the time too. But yeah, I'm going to get another Rubicon soon. I definitely need one because these bikes just break too much. You got to have something to ride, so they're slow, but you got to have a backup Honda. The 300 is about to go under the knife, about to do the big bore kit on it. It needs a little bit more compression. It's got the original piston from 1999. It's been swamped about a dozen times, so it's time to give that top end some love, but I got it all in stock, so I'll be doing that this week.